Joining us now with reaction is the executive director of the Lawfare Project, Brooke Goldstein, and Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz. Brooke, let me start with you. Now, from the river to the sea basically means wipe Israel off the map. The Colombia president won't call this, has no problem with this being chanted. She said, well, I wish it wasn't, but she's not going to stop it on her campus. I thought these campuses were woke. You have professors at Columbia. I can name a number of them. For example, one, Joseph Masada, was in the New York Post today, tenured academic, came in for him to be fired after the October 7th attack, killing 1,200, and of course hundreds taken hostage. And he said it was an awesome, stunning victory of the Palestinian resistance, the site of Palestinian resistance fighters storming Israel. Checkpoints separating Gaza from Israel was astounding. He penned an 1,800-word essay published 24 hours. I have professor after professor after professor, and you have a president of this Ivy League institution that literally doesn't have a problem calling for the annihilation of the entire state of Israel. That's okay in an Ivy League environment in this woke and PC era, really?
No, it's not okay. And that's exactly why the Lawfare Project is suing Columbia University for its zero consequence policy for pro-terror and for the harassment, the unlawful harassment of its Jewish students. But I think, Sean, it is so important to look at this from a macro perspective, because this is not about Israel-Hamas. Israel is a decoy. The problem we are facing is so subversive, it's so deep, that we need to take a look at what's going on. We have the Biden administration paying Iran billions of dollars to murder Americans and to kill Israelis. We have the same administration turning a blind eye to the billions of dollars coming into this country from Qatar, radicalizing our students. We have the same administration telling the Department of Education and the Office of Civil Rights to drag its feet when it comes to enforcing Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. We have an outstanding complaint against Columbia University from 2009. We have our borders being flooded, possibly by Hezbollah. We have radicalization on our streets. This is a huge problem. And unless there is a course corrector here, we are facing implosion. And that is why we have been taken to the streets. The End Jew Hatred movement, which I am a proud founder of, had a solidarity rally of over 250 people outside Columbia University, because we are going to take back the streets. We are going to take back America, because we love this country, and we will not allow it to be ruined by hatred and anti-Semitism and terrorism and terror support.
Professor, rabid, vile, virulent anti-Semitism on college campuses, in the halls of Congress, all throughout Europe, Australia, gas the Jews, F the Jews. I never thought in my lifetime, we've known each other a long time, one issue we never disagreed on was the issue of Israel. I never thought I'd hear this type of rhetoric in my life, especially after what happened in World War II and Nazi Germany. And I don't use that analogy lightly.
I agree.
But it sounds just like it.
Pro-Palestine. This is not pro-Palestine. This is pro-Hamas, which is anti-Palestine. The worst enemy that the Palestinian people have is Hamas. These kids are Hitler Youth. These are the same kind of people who brought Hitler to power in 1933, Castro to power, Pol Pot to power, Mao Zedong to power. Just because they're young doesn't mean they're not extremely, extremely dangerous. What they're doing is providing aid to a terrorist organization. Can you imagine a university allowing people to have a parallel chant to "From the River to the Sea"? Imagine them saying, "From the Atlantic to the Indian Ocean, South Africa will be free of blacks, and let's return South Africa to white apartheid rule." Not a single student would be allowed to stay at the university. Or what if students said, "We are the KKK"? What if a group of white supremacists said, "We are the KKK"? This is not about freedom of speech. This is about a double standard. The diversity, equity, and inclusion bureaucracy is the incubator for anti-Semitism at every major university in the United States. And as long as we maintain the DEI intersectionality, we're not getting to the heart of the problem. It is destroying American universities. It is fomenting anti-Semitism. It's fomenting anti-Americanism. Scratch an anti-Israeli, scratch an anti-Semite, and you find an anti-American. That's why these people are chanting death to America. This is anti-American. This is subversive. This is an attempt to really overthrow the government of the United States.
It's pretty scary times. Thank you both.